to the players after the game, said it again today, proud of their preparation, practice, and how we started the game. At the end of the day, as a program, for me to the players, we all got to be a little bit better in the second half, and got to do that quickly as we move on. You could sense the players' disappointment this morning. At the same time, when we walked out of the team meeting room, you got to cut it clean and you got to take the lessons moving forward. But we got to go. Playing a really good Kentucky team that's had 2 weeks of preparation coming off of a bye. Extremely physical football team on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Offensively, you look at their ability to rush the football, their efficiency in their play action pass, be a huge challenge for us defensively. Offensively, they're extremely good against the run and extremely physical up front. So be a huge test, and special teams will be a big part of it too. So I'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, Coach, in game, how much do you and your staff use analytics for decision making or helping in decision making? And two, why has this offense had such a hard time on 4th and short?
Yeah, it's a portion of the process, but not the end all be all. Hasn't been any time that we've had analytics as being a part of it. And the answer, at the end of the day, coaches and players got to be better in those situations, and we got to go pick up a first down. So 2 critical 4th downs that we don't pick up.
You mentioned Kentucky's run game. They rely on Ray Davis. He's probably, I think, second in the SEC right now. How do you not let him get going?
Well, you got to stop them early at the line of scrimmage. But their offensive line, their tight ends, they're extremely physical. They do a really good job getting a hat on a hat. We got to be violent. We got to be disruptive. You got to have gap integrity between all their different personnel groupings, their shifts, their motions. We got to do a great job communicating and being, gapped out. At the end of the day, when you meet the ball carrier, you got to do a great job of tackling him too. He's extremely physical.
You talked about needing to learn lessons, both in the period in the Florida game and the Alabama game. There were periods where like one bad break or one bad play led to another, a snowball effect. What's the lesson the guys need to learn out of those little periods of time?
We got to start faster in the second half in both of those ball games. The Florida one obviously was the first half. There was a lot of really good things on the video in the second half too. At the end of the day, offense, defense, special teams, you got to operate 11 as one, and we didn't do that at a high enough level. I like the way we prepared. I like the way that we practiced. We got to be on the right side of it when we get to game day.
You talked about the struggles on 4th and short. Are you concerned with this team's ability to get a push at the offensive line? And would you consider using something like the tush push, within your offense?
Where'd you get that from? I saw you reading that. I'm joking with you. Listen, at the end of the day, we got to find a way to pick up a first down. We've used a lot of different formations. We've been under center, been in the gun. We've used it all. So we got to find a way to pick it up in those 2 critical situations.
Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for it, but last year you guys were so good deep middle and intermediate middle. You guys haven't been as productive this year. I know there's a lot of reasons for it, but is there 1 or 2 reasons you think haven't gone as well for you that you need to get better at?
The beginning part of your question, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that obviously there's a lot of reasons for maybe not having as much effectiveness down the field and intermediate to deep throws in the middle of the field. What needs to be better there?
We got to be better in all phases. It can be protection. It can be, routes. It can be winning. It can be reading it. It can be, Joe putting on target. We got to catch the ball. So it's a little bit of everything. I thought we took some steps at times in our passing game last week. We got to continue to improve here as we go.
Coach in the back here, after the game, you said you'll go to war with these guys.
Yeah.
What makes this team mean so much to you? What are the characteristics that make you feel that way about them?
First of all, they invest the right way. They prepare the right way. They're willing to go lay it out on the line. Everybody in the program is disappointed with the result, but you can't be strictly results driven. I know that's how everybody, views the game. I get that. We do too. But these guys continue to compete and play extremely hard. So we got to grow. We got to make up the difference and be on the right side of it for sure. But this group's willing to invest, compete, and go play.
Josh, Joe was obviously able to get going running the football, but what weren't the running backs doing or the running game with the traditional run that didn't allow y'all to have success like y'all had been the last couple of weeks?
Give them some credit too. They did a good job, destructing blocks and making plays, being physical at the point, making tackles in space. We weren't always on the right side of it. And, that's the running back. It's, our front five, it's tight ends. We needed to be a little bit cleaner in that one, but also knowing the type of opponent that we were playing too. But we can be better normal downs and situationally too.
On the kick return, let's move back to the 4. Did you ever get more of a reasoning of like, who did they think called for the fair catch? Did they call for a fair catch? How did all that happen?
Yeah, letter of the law, anybody puts their hand up above the shoulder, that would signify a fair catch. We had a frontline guy that put his pointer finger up slightly above his shoulder.
Is he coached to do that?
No, he's not coached to do that. No.
Josh, when you went back and watched Joe's performance, what did you like, and what are some things that he needs to fix going into the next game?
I thought he continued to compete, continued to fight throughout the course of the ball game. Really good decision making for a majority of the football game. Was accurate with the football. I thought he made plays with his feet. Some of that was in quarterback run game, some design, some not. Some of it was him scrambling around, making some plays. So there were some positive signs. Man, welcome to college football, right? You got to be on the right side of it. You got to find a way to make the plays that make the difference, and also understand that this game's not going to be perfect. We see really good players and coaches on the other side of it too. I talked about earlier, just that I like this team because they invest, they prepare, they play hard. We got to be a little bit sharper. And in the first ball game, I didn't think we reset. In this one, just some unique things happened, and we didn't get going on the right side of it. But we got to cut it clean, and we got to move forward in this one too.
Josh, sort of expanding on that, for to only really have a couple of bad quarters and that to be 2 losses during a season, when you're trying to coach young people, how do you explain to them how fine those margins are and how much things have to be really, really good for 60 minutes without making people think they have to be perfect or pushing too hard?
Yeah. First of all, you talk about those things. You show them on the video, how little subtle things make a difference in, how the game's played. And it's a series of one plays that make the difference in the football game. That's the way you got to approach it. But it's a series of plays. So you got to reset and refocus on the next one. And, we talk about not having to be perfect because I think that applies a lot of pressure to kids where you can't go out and just cut it loose and go play. But the fundamentals, how you invest, your preparation, being on the right side of it, you got to control the controllables in the process of getting ready to play. Yeah, young corner that has been opportunistic, made plays when it's been up in the air. He's gone and got it, and does a really nice job as a young player. Their front, big, strong, physical. They do a really good job of getting off of blocks, but their second level and third level fits are on point. And so even if you block it clean inside, the extra hat's showing up quickly on you. They've done a really good job of tackling that guy in space. We got to be extremely good up front. That's the 5 guys. It's the tight ends. And we're going to have to run with the physical edge in this one. It can help the spacing, but, again, you're playing really good players. Every scheme's a little bit different, how you can attack them and trying to find an edge for your players. So, that's why things change from week to week a little bit.
How's Nico developed? Should you need him to play? How's he come along?
Nico, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Continues to prepare the right way. Continuing to, gain a deeper understanding of what we're doing, and obviously week to week is seeing a lot of different defensive structures. He's got to continue to prepare for. So, like what he's done. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand if it was Danico or Nico.
Building on the Joe Milton running question, have you talked to him at all about choosing when to lower his shoulder and then choosing when to avoid contact? And
Yeah,
get out of bounds?
everybody's, the end of their runs are a little bit different. Their ability to slide, their comfort, dive, get down, situationally too, the hidden yards in the game when needed. There's times when, he should probably get down, but again, I like the way that he ran the football. Thank you, everybody. The tush push.